Hi guys, the JazzieNerd here, and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Snippet, or rather Monday Snippet, since yesterday I felt like crap and didn't want to record. Anyway, so for the first Sunday Snippet of 2016, I thought it was only fitting that we go back to the beginning. And by beginning, I mean the very beginning. As in, the book of Genesis. Can you see that? Jeez, yeah, you can see that. Okay. And a couple of church pamphlets just fell out of my Bible. Great. Anyway, Genesis holds one of the biggest, if not the biggest, thing people use to challenge Christianity. The creation story. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I've already mentioned more than once. I think more than once, maybe just once, I don't know, it could have been multiple times, I don't remember my own videos at all. Anyway, I've mentioned before that my boyfriend is an atheist. And I think I've also mentioned that he and I have had a few debates regarding religion, some of which ended with me in tears, others that didn't. One of the first questions he ever asked me was if I actually believed the world was only 6,000 years old and had been created in 6 days. And the answer to that is a resounding, no, I don't. I've already talked in this series, I think it was the episode where I discussed what the Bible says and does not say about homosexuality. And I discussed the dangers of taking every word in the Bible literally and at face value. And there's two things you need to consider with regard to this story. First, our definition of what a day is. Well, not as arbitrary as certain other units of time, like hour. Like, why the heck is an hour 60 minutes? Our definition of day is still somewhat random in that, were we on another planet, a day would be a different length of time, because a day is simply the amount of time it takes the Earth to make one full rotation on its axis, and that is different for every planet. Also, keep in mind that this is one complete turn relative to a point not on the surface of the Earth, because down here we can't feel the Earth spinning underneath us. So, down here, our only perception of day and night is, when it's light out, when it's dark out. Well, now, technically speaking, Genesis has the creation of light and dark, day and night, occurring before the creation of the sun, moon, and stars, which of course cannot be possible in light of what we know now, that without the sun, there would not only be no light, there would be no life. But anyway, the sun, moon, and stars were not created until the 4th day of creation. Meaning, up until that point, Earth was kind of the only thing in the universe. And since we were lacking, we that did not yet exist, an outside point of reference in which to judge when one day has passed, we cannot truly call the first 3 days by that word. And the second thing you need to consider with regard to the first chapter of Genesis is that the book was written, supposedly, by Moses, and the knowledge he needed to write it was given to him by God, I believe around the same time he was on the mountain getting the 10 Commandments. And according to my dad, God essentially downloaded all of this stuff into the poor guy's brain. And it would have been necessary in that situation to basically dumb it down. Because I highly doubt, and honestly, even today, I highly doubt anyone could comprehend the sheer vastness of the universe in both time and space. So, there's no way God could have logically tried to get Moses to understand the billions of years it took the universe to form. So God went with the simplest way of phrasing he possibly could. 6 days. And I mean, human perception has come a long way since then. Genesis was written in around 1450 BC, when the average lifespan, barring all those guys who supposedly lived to be 900, was probably around 35 years. So, I mean, people didn't really have a need to think about much past the 35 years they'd be on the earth. So, of course, they couldn't have conceived of billions of years, or even hundreds of years, probably. So, and since everyone could only travel as far as their own feet could take them, the average person's perception of the world was an area that spanned maybe a few hundred square miles. Because, I mean, there weren't any good maps. So, everything you know about the universe is something you've seen for yourself. As far as your own feet can take you in 35 years, essentially. Or probably closer to 30, since it takes a little time to learn to walk, but you get where I'm coming from. These days, we're better suited to understanding distances like the 100,000 light-year diameter of our galaxy, and times like the 13 billion years for the universe to reach its present state. And we've still got a long way to go. I mean, I honestly don't think even professional astronomers have completely wrapped their minds around the concept of 13 billion years or 100,000 light years. I know I haven't. So anyway, that's the Sunday Snippet for today. My little explanation of why the creation story makes no sense in context of modern science. And as soon as this goes up, I'm going to go take care of my Harry Potter problem, or at least hopefully resolve our Harry Potter problem, so I can finally complete that stinking series. I will see you guys back here, hopefully tomorrow, I don't know, definitely this weekend. Until then, stay jazzy.